Hey y'all, welcome to the Why Podcast, where why is always the question. And you're in the closet with your girl Celeste Frey. So let's get into it. I'm gonna talk to you about some things. And before I tell you about today's why, let me just say this. There are things in life we complain about, things we feel stuck in, things we say we hate. But here's the raw truth. If you don't actively work to change it, you're silently choosing it. Whether it's a relationship, a mindset, a job, a habit, if you stay in it, you're saying yes to it by not saying no. So for today's why what you don't change, you choose by default. And I'm serious about that. I go through my life every single day trying to unfold any habits, bad habits, or whatever it is that I'm going through, that I'm allowing. I'm like, what I don't change, I'm choosing by default. Why? Nah, it's not okay. For my first point, inaction is a decision. Period. We all have to make a decision. Inaction is still one, even if you're not taking action. Choosing not to act is still making a choice. And it often benefits your discomfort more than your growth. How many of us have seen that, or have lived through that, or have gone through that, or are going through that? You know, I could go down the path of a situation I was in. And I did a video on this of how we can be loyal to a fault. And in this situation, me not taking action was a decision, or the action I was taking of being loyal is. I grew from it, but the discomfort that I went through, man, I could say I would have made a different decision. And eventually I did, but we have to really look at our lives, ourselves, this path that we're on. I mean, I don't think we truly know how short it is or how short it feels. We think a lot of times we have all the time in the world to either be inactive or not put forth our best effort. It doesn't work like that. If we see something, whatever it is, it's bothering us or it's not measuring up to, and yes, because I struggle with this too, because a part of me feels like, just give it a little bit more time. Diamonds are made with pressure. But the another part of me is like, how much time you gonna give it? It becomes now a habit of choice that's not benefiting you in any way. It's a tear down. How many of y'all have these inside conversations with yourselves? I have a lot of inside conversations with myself. That's why I'm always hanging out in my closet, honestly. Thinking, planning, building. This brings me to my next point is the illusion of waiting for the right time. What is the right time? We tell ourselves we're being patient, but really we're avoiding the work or consequences of change. I could raise my hand on that. Again, change is not comfortable, and the consequences of it, of course, is definitely uncomfortable. And we don't want to go through that, at certain times. And so we think that we're waiting for the right time to do X, Y, and Z. And I know, realistically in life, we don't even have enough time to even be trying to think about waiting on the right time. Waiting on the right time is right now. Conversations that need to be had now. Be truthful with who you are, what your narrative is. Honest. It's scary, but it's necessary. My next point is fear of the unknown keeps us stuck in the known. It's true. Familiar pains feels more safe than unfamiliar possibilities. Sometimes though, it's those unfamiliar possibilities that we're trying to get to, but the familiar that's in front of us, it's like the wedge between us and that. It's a boulder that's in the way. It's an invisible boulder. And even as I'm talking to you, I'm going over, I'm mulling over a lot within my life, my brain. This invisible boulder that's there between familiarity and unfamiliarity. But in my spirit, I'm knowing that on the other side of that boulder, familiarity is definitely better. So why am I still where I feel is familiar? How did I get here? I think we all get there at some point. And we have to take a step back and question ourselves, starting with why. So that we can get to the next place and space and steps of where we should be and what we should do. We normalize dysfunction. The longer you stay in something broken, the more you convince yourself it's just how life is. And that's not fair. Because it's not just how life is. Yes, we're going to have our challenges, but it's the decisions that we make of where we're going to stay in these challenging situations. And dysfunction is not okay. I hate dysfunction. Blazer in the way. It's not normal. So how do we get to a point to where we think it is, or we accept what's abnormal as if it is the new normal? It's like when you give someone a chance over and 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 over again, and you're hoping that the next time they actually change. And I'm feeling like, I think you're just familiar with this person or this situation, and that you are hindering them from actually being able to change because you're allowing them to continue making these same mistakes. Because you want to be so loyal to this person, it's holding both of you back. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to take in. Accountability feels heavy, but denial feels worse over time. Ownership hurts at first, but it sets you free. Denial keeps you in chains. Oh my gosh. It keeps you like you're imprisoned. Stop denying yourself. Stop denying who you need to be to step into you. Stop denying yourself of the inaction or action that you're doing that's not taking you further than where you need to be. It's pulling you back. Growth requires disruption. Every upgrade comes with an interruption to your comfort zone. It does. Change forces you to confront that. Growth requires disruption. Isn't that interesting? There's so much disruption that's happening around them. And I'm talking about just with technology right now. But it's forcing us to change and to adapt and to grow and to get out of what is familiar and step into the unfamiliar. Whether we want to or not, it's here. And the same applies to our relationships, friendships, parenting, children, being a kid, whatever, being a child. What am I trying to say? Being a son or daughter to your parents, they have to see your change and accept your growth also. Growth requires disruption. It's not easy at first. It doesn't feel good at first. It never does. And then that becomes the new normal until it doesn't. For my 7th point, you teach others how to treat you by what you tolerate. Woo! Oh, man. You teach others how to treat you by what you tolerate. You teach others how to treat you by what you tolerate. You teach others how to treat you by what you tolerate. That could be a friend. That could be a spouse. That could be a parent. That could be a colleague, a coworker, a child. I try to be very intentional about how I teach others how to treat me. But I know what my default is. My default is I'm very loving. I'm patient. And needless to say, I could be loyal. In a way, the reason why I'm saying that right now is because I'm trying to break out of just being loyal. Because if I'm loyal to a fault, what does it matter? It's not helping me in any way, in any manner. Man. And I tell my daughters this. I tell my sons, you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate, by what you're putting out there. I've given people chances a lot. A lot. And I ask myself, why do you give them so many chances? Why? And I know it's because I want to see them win. I want to see I want to continue to see the good in them versus the bad that they've shown me. But I also feel like I'm holding you back because I'm tolerating what you're doing. It's not teaching you anything. What it's taught you is that I'm a loving, forgiving, loyal person, and you can continue doing X, Y, and Z and think it's okay to get away with it. But when we grow out of that, like y'all, I'm telling you, having conversations with y'all is therapeutic for me. It is. Again, I know I've had these conversations with other people, or I've seen topics online, but in real life, I know we have these questions that we ask ourselves, and those traits that I have are wonderful. They're beautiful. They're necessary. But sometimes they're not for everyone. Sometimes. And I always feel like they are. The reason why I'm saying they're not for everyone, because you have people that would abuse it and use it and abuse it and use it over and over again. So you have to know when to say enough is enough and stop. This brings me to my last point. Your life reflects your patterns, not your potential. You may have potential for more, but your results follow your choices, not your dreams. Do your very best in showing up for yourself before you think to put others before you. And I'm not saying it in a vain or selfish way, but sometimes people can leech off of your loving, kind, patient nature and not realizing that they are doing that, and you're not realizing it either. And it's not helping either of you. It actually makes the situation worse because it becomes a habit of no change, a habit of the same. Now you've fallen back into these situations, and until you wake up one day asking yourself, why did I allow this to go on for so long? Why did I allow myself to play small or be ridiculed in a manner that didn't serve me? Why did I not step out on the faith that the Father put inside of me and trusting Him? Why did I compromise my peace, my freedom? Listen, we all have areas in our lives that make us sigh, roll our eyes, or say, I wish this was different. But unless we take the steps to change it mentally, emotionally, physically, we are silently saying, I'm okay with it. And you're not. You don't have to like it to be choosing it. The moment you stop fighting for change, you start standing in agreement with what it is. And that's the hard truth. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. As always, even to yourself, question everything, starting with why. Because why is always the question. And I'm out, y'all.